Carmelo Anthony's family and team are panicking now that they have publicly slipped up and exposed a huge lie that they've recently told. That, along with Carmelo supporters crossing the line with absolutely evil rap songs they've made, taking aim, mocking the death of Austin Metcalf, and fake videos painting Austin's father Jeff as a racist, are all only fueling the fire and fanning the flames of what will be waiting for Carmelo inside prison, and they don't even realize what they're doing, as the two primary prison gangs that are wanting to get their hands on Carmelo are looking at this and only getting angrier and angrier as they do. I'll explain everything. Let's get started. So let's start with this. Now, we all know Carmelo Anthony, his family, his team, they filed indigent, got a public defender. Old news, right? It's only a couple days old. But that's old news. We all know that. So that means the $500,000 plus that was raised for his legal defense got blown, right? Wrong, according to Carmelo and his team. Very reliable source, right? They come out and publicly embarrass themselves by trying to mend this situation, saying, oh, and keep in mind, the person who put this out is the same guy who's made some of the biggest mistakes that we've covered on this channel when it comes to how much you're hurting the future of Carmelo Anthony once he goes to prison, just from A to Z. But not going to get into that here. We've already been over it. If you missed it, go check those videos out. This big activist, the big leader, the team captain for Team Carmelo, put out a statement online saying, oh, this is a false narrative. This is false news. We still have the money. We're going to use that money for the legal defense. We haven't blown it all. We know the money's there. Everyone else is lying, making things up. Clickbait. And I'll prove it. The reason Carmelo Anthony is indigent, which means you have no money and you cannot afford your own attorney, so one has to be court appointed for you, a public defender. The reason Carmelo is coming up as indigent is because, there was a little time loop with when we could access the money and when we had to, obtain a lawyer with that money. We're planning on it. We're still going to do it. But, this deadline came up. And so, the system, it's automatic. They just automatically, because we hadn't already gotten him a lawyer, it just automatically filed him away as indigent and got to work on appointing him a public defender. We didn't even have anything to do with that. It's all a bunch of BS, a big misunderstanding. Well, thanks to Sarah Fields on X.com, who is doing great work, great coverage on this. I also watched The Quartering on YouTube. He always has a bunch of good information. Salute to him. I love his videos. This is all a bunch of BS. And by trying to prove that what everyone was calling them out for was BS, they've exposed their own BS. Because as you can see here with this post of Sarah Fields, she's done some research. It does not automatically just file you away as indigent. You have to fill out paperwork. There's an application. You have to list your name, your income, any job history, assets, property, anything of value. Prove that you truly cannot afford a lawyer. And then and only then, once you prove that, will you be given a free lawyer, basically. And I know for a fact this is true because, yes, you're going to hear me say it again. If you're a frequent viewer, I know it's getting old, but I've done 10 years in prison and I don't come from a rich family. So I have had to fill that application out at least 2 to 3 times. Because even if my parents had the money, they are not the type, hey, buddy, you committed a serious crime. We're not going to spend a bunch of money on a lawyer to save you. They're not the type. They're like, well, guess you need to stay in jail and learn your lesson. Point is, I've filled out that exact paperwork time and time again. It is absolutely true. She is right on the money. So take it from me, someone who's been there and done that. You don't just get a call one day, hey, come down here and meet with your lawyer. We picked one out for you. We noticed you didn't have any ramen noodles in your in your little basket under your prison bunk. We figured you were struggling. So we went and got you a lawyer. No, you have to fill out paperwork and go through the proper channels. So him being the idiot that he is just exposed the family. Every dime is gone. They don't have any money for this. And their big cover up is, oh, it did it automatically. We have nothing to do with that. We didn't even want to do that. We're actually haul hopping in the car, buckling our seatbelts, turning on the AC, finding a good, sound playlist to listen to, and heading right on down to a lawyer's office right now to spend that whole $500,000. Bull. How come there's still no lawyer? There's still no lawyer. They spent every dime of that $500,000, which means the literal one thing that could have saved Karmelo, quite literally bought his way out of any danger he's facing in prison. It's gone. Thanks to his parents. Your parents are responsible for you, for raising you and your well-being. It doesn't seem like his parents care about any of that. And maybe that's why he turned out the way he did. Because I don't know if you've heard about this as well, but a new reporter has come forward with their testimony. They've seen the video. We've already covered the surveillance CCTV footage of the altercation and what one reporter said and described what they saw. We have another one who's recently come forward in the last day and a half, and explain what they saw. Pretty much the same thing. No physical altercation on Austin's end whatsoever up until the actual stabbing. And I know that there are still so many people who are saying, ultimately, Austin grabbed him. And that's when Karmelo stabbed him. Okay, let's just say that's true. No physical altercation up until that point. They're at their tent. Austin and all his teammates are where they're supposed to be. Karmelo is not. Karmelo comes into a rival team's tent. Austin correctly tells him, you need to leave. You're not supposed to be here. You're making us uncomfortable. We're rival teams. Please leave. Karmelo says, no. Now what? Austin, you know what? Maybe he gets a little more oomph in him. Hey, man, listen, buddy. You need to leave. Get out of here. You're not supposed to be here. You have a track record. You're known for stealing. You've been suspended already for bringing a knife to school in an earlier time, unrelated to this. We know about you. We don't want you here. And you're not allowed to be here. You're not supposed to be here. So what does Karmelo do? He unzips his book bag, reaches in his bag, and says, touch me and see what happens. Now, I don't know about you, but I think any sane person on this earth in the day and age that we are in, where every single month some kid is bringing some firearm to school and opening fire and killing our sons, our daughters, our nieces, our nephews, innocent children. You don't even have to be related to them. You don't even have to be in the same state as them for it to be heartbreaking when you hear any news of what is going on today with all these school shootings. So especially living in today's day, this day and age, when you have a student who's not supposed to be somewhere, enter that area, look at you, reach into their bag menacingly and say, touch me and see what happens. What is anyone supposed to think? Any rational person is going to think, not even a knife. You have a firearm, because that's what's happening today. These are the times, baby, unfortunately. And so I'm sure Austin, like any of us, is thinking, my God, this guy has a gun. You don't just bring a gun to school for no reason. This guy's reaching in his bag, grabbing something. in a way that suggests if I pull what I got in my hand out of this bag right now, you're going to be sorry. And it's telling you, if you touch me, watch what happens. Just watch. Most people would run away. Most people would be scared. Most people would freeze up and not know what to do. If Austin Metcalf at that point grabbed him, which is what Karmelo supporters are alleging happened, that's their sequence of events, which is so crazy to me because let's go with that. At that point, Austin, they'd like to say he's a bully. He's an aggressor. He started it because he grabbed Karmelo. Once Karmelo reached in his bag and said, touch me and see what happens, and grabbed something in his bag. He wasn't an aggressor. He wasn't a bully. He didn't start it. Austin Metcalf was a hero. Because I believe that he believed we might have a school shooter on our hands. This man brought a gun to a track meet and is hostile, out of control. And what did Austin do? Did he freeze up? Did he run away? Did he cower? No, he grabbed him. Tried to stop him, tried to save his fellow teammates, his students, the parents of these students who came to watch this sporting event. And he paid for that with his life because Karmelo Anthony is a thug and a coward. Pulled out a knife, stabbed him, and ran away. So there, whatever confirmation Karmelo Anthony supporters think they got from this eyewitness account of a new reporter, buddy, what is anyone supposed to think? That only makes me think more that Austin Metcalf was a hero and he laid his life on the line for a situation he believed could potentially save his classmates. And who knows? Let's be real. Who knows? Maybe he really did save his classmates. Who knows what this man brought a knife to school for? Why would you do that? Who knows what he had planned? Austin Metcalf, he wasn't a bully. He wasn't the aggressor. He was a hero. That's how I feel. And moving on from that, you know what their response is, Karmelo Anthony supporters? You got this guy, Mike Baggs, on X, who has a large following, a lot of influence. He's not just some random guy. A lot of influence, a lot of supporters, a lot of followers. He has made his own diss track, rap song, mocking and laughing at the fact that Austin has died. Take a listen.
Hey, yo, that boy Austin is dead. Fuck around and find out. I'll put one through your head. Bang! Now you in timeout. Yo, hey, yo, you don't really want.
Wow, I don't think that'll be topping the Billboard 100 anytime soon. But all the Karmelo supporters seem to love it. And if that isn't evil enough, they have this fake fabricated video of Jeff Metcalf, which is clearly not Jeff Metcalf. You can just listen to the voice here and listen to any interview that Jeff Metcalf has gave. It's already been confirmed. This is not Austin's dad, but they really tried their best to put this false video out there of some guy, some white guy hopping on a TikTok live discussion forum about who was wrong here in this situation. And he gets on there and starts calling black people the N-word, left and right. Wouldn't be surprised if that guy was a Karmelo Anthony supporter and participated in the creation of this false video. So all this is coming out, and you got to think, if it wasn't bad enough already, these Aryan Brotherhood, Aryan Nation of Texas, who is running rampant in Texas prisons and are already pissed. They're already fired up. They are watching this more and more. Now you are disrespecting us. You have had the leader of your team, Karmelo, publicly declare war against white supremacy, everything that they stand for. Not saying they're right. I'm giving you the facts here. This is what you are doing. This is who you are angering and building up to basically leave them all but no choice for the sake of everything they believe in, no matter how wrong it is. They have no choice but to do something to Karmelo Anthony. And you're ensuring that. His family and his team is ensuring that. So when this boy finally does get his little spanking on the butt, here's your life sentence. Get on down there to prison, fella. You have this pressure cooker of gangs who have been watching all this, and the supporters think it's funny. Let's make rap music. Let's make false videos. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's disrespect him. Let's laugh at the fact that he's dead. You never know who's viewing this and taking it in. But I'll tell you who I do know is viewing it and taking it in. The white race-based gang in Texas prison who already has their crosshairs on Karmelo Anthony. And every single thing y'all do like this makes it more inevitable and that much worse for when Karmelo finally gets in prison. You are shortening his lifespan by the year with everything you do. I just hope you know that. I'm not complaining, but I just hope y'all know that, Karmelo supporters. That's it. That's all I got to say. Quick little update, but I'll be here when there's another. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.